Kia is attempting something pretty amazing. We chatted about it yesterday. They are trying to take on the world's longest test drive all around South Africa. And Ewan is sitting down with a marketing manager to find out more about it.
Well, very exciting news indeed. The brand new Kia Sportage, it is here, it has landed, and to celebrate, they are taking on an epic journey as they are setting forth on what will be the world's longest test drive ever. Yes, the world's longest test drive. Now, the adventure kicked off in Durban last week Friday, and it'll wrap up right here in Cape Town on the 20th of October this year. And joining us this morning, we have a Kia Marketing Director, David Seep, with us, this time to talk about the charity project forming part of this campaign, which I think is really exciting as well. David, lovely to have you back in studio.
Thanks, Ewan.
Once again, great campaign. I think this is such a great way to introduce the brand new Kia to the South African public as well. But I also like the fact that you've added a charity angle, because not only are you going for a world record here, but you're giving back to the community as well. Unpack a little bit what exactly is happening around that.
Well, thanks, Ewan. I think when we conceived of the idea of taking the Sportage on this epic journey and involving consumers, we kind of looked at it and said, well, surely there's an opportunity here along the journey, along the route, to make a difference as we go. So it's not just about the car itself. Kia as a brand, we always like to give back, and we've got nominated charities that we do that ordinarily. But within the confines of the world's longest test drive, when we get to Reddersburg, just outside Bloem, we identified a school that has some serious shortages in terms of stationery. And you may know we've got some really good co-sponsors with us on the journey, and Butterfly, which are heavily involved in schools and providing stationery for schools. They've come to the party, and they're going to be making a lot of stationery available to that school as we pass through that environment. So it's a little bit of a detour, but definitely for a good cause.
I love that. Listen, the fact that Kia is using this platform to do some good, to plow back into the community, especially towards the children, I think is absolutely fantastic. But why is it so important for the brand itself to be doing these kind of activities?
As an empowerment tool, education is critical. We've long held the belief that it's probably the single most important environment where you can make a tangible difference, and that is to educate kids. So ordinarily, we look at a number of nominated charities, like CHOC as an example. We've supported Shout as a charity foundation. And a lot of people know that Shout is also very big into education. So two of their main levers is supporting orphans and widows. And then Shout have also built a number of libraries, which talks to what we believe in. So we've supported Shout to a large extent. And again, this is just another opportunity where we looked at the education aspect, and it makes sense for us to take the connections we've made, like with Butterfly, who obviously have the stationery and all the equipment that a school kid could need. And we've pulled them into this environment, and they're giving a lot of stationery to these kids, which is great.
And I think it adds such a special aspect to this whole journey, of course. But let's talk about this. Give us a bit of an update as to where the test drive currently is and what's been happening over the past day or two.
Okay, so I've checked in with the guys. They left Bloem, I think, this morning. So they're actually on their way to the school today. And then ultimately they will end off in East London. And then from there, we're going to obviously, well, maybe not so obviously, but trace the coastline. So we'll be going through Port Elizabeth, Jeffreys Bay, and I think an overnight is George. And then from George, we'll move through to Hermanus and then ultimately end up at Cape Point.
Oh, man, it's also one of the most beautiful routes in South Africa.
No, the guys are spoiled. And the nice thing about it is the crew itself. I mean, it takes a toll on them and the consumers. But it's just it's an opportunity to see the country, which is also fantastic.
I love that. And we have so much to explore. David, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on again. But this really is going to be big, going for that world record. So be sure to stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, as we will keep you up to date to see all of the action go down. You can, of course, visit as well kiaworldrecord.co.za, and also follow them on social media using their handle at Kia Motors SA for all of those updates.
Exciting times in the world of Kia Motors. Thank you so much, Ewan. But you know what? Let's take a look at some of the progress that the test drivers made as they made their way to Cape Town.